Hello everyone, my name is Ryan and welcome back to another episode about art. So today we're going to be taking a look at Drawing Human Anatomy and Proportion Volume 3. Now before I begin, I'd like to mention that I am not an expert on this topic, but I do have quite a lot of experience both personally and professionally, and I do think that what I have to say does merit some value. Then again, if you are seeking professional support and help, I recommend you consult an expert or go read a book. Also, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should probably go check out the last two episodes, which we will have a link in the description, hopefully. And yeah, see those videos before you watch this one. But anyways, speaking of which, this video is going to be kind of short compared to the other ones, because I don't think I have too much to say in this episode. So today we're going to be talking about gender stereotypes in drawing. And I know at first that sounds kind of offensive and kind of mean, but trust me, it's not that rude as it sounds. More specifically, we're looking at different patterns and traits that males have that females don't, for example. Now, these patterns are due to changes in proportion, changes in genetics, and changes in, human anatomy in general. Now, I'm not trying to sound mean, I'm just pointing out different patterns that you'll notice when you're drawing different people and different genders. And of course, not everyone is the same, so what may apply to some people doesn't apply to everyone, so you always don't want to, use stereotypes in some cases. So let's begin on the female side. Now, females, genetically speaking, are somewhat shorter than males. Most of the time it could be half a head or just slightly shorter than their male counterpart. However, female bodies do tend to have smaller and thinner appendages. These include the fingers, arms, legs, hands, and etc. This is usually due to a slight lack of muscle mass compared to the male side, or at least a lack of visible muscle, which is something we'll go into a little more detail when we talk about males. Now, in terms of faces, females tend to have better defined cheekbones. Their faces also tend to be a lot smoother and contain more curves and such. In fact, in general, the female body does tend to have a lot more curves and smoother angles compared to males. Most female bodies, and not all of them, tend to follow a pear or hourglass shaped form. They tend to have larger upper chest areas and larger thigh areas, while having thinner waists compared to men. In comparison to the males, men tend to be a little bit taller than females. As mentioned before, this isn't a big difference, but it is something that is genetically different between men and women. However, compared to females, males tend to have more muscular mass. This usually results in more visible muscles, leading to what would appear to be larger arms, say wider shoulders, and thicker necks, as just some examples of different attributes. In many cases, the male muscular system is a lot better defined than the female muscular system. And in general, male bodies are in fact somewhat larger than females. In terms of faces, males tend to have a lot more square faces that do contain a lot more angles and a lot more rigid features. In fact, when it comes to the entire body, males tend to have a lot more rigid structural system, and which contains a lot more angles and a lot sharper angles compared to the number of curves and smoother angles that you would see on a female body. In this example over here, you can quite see the elbows, for example, in the male are a lot more well defined than the female. And you may notice that when you're drawing a lot of male bodies, especially in different cartoons and whatnot, they are a lot more rectangular. And of course, you could get a lot more stereotypical and say like females have longer hair or males have more body hair and stuff like that. But that's a little bit irrelevant when it comes to drawing. When we're drawing different genders, we mainly want to focus on drawing their physical body and less about the extra external features that they might have. Now, if you're drawing someone from a reference, chances are these different traits and the knowledge of these traits aren't going to come into that much help compared to if you're drawing something out of your imagination, for example. But it's the value of that understanding and just the knowledge of knowing the difference between a masculine body, and a female body that can really help define whatever you're drawing. The most prominent example where this knowledge could come to use would be if you're drawing or creating your own imaginary character. Now, if you're creating your own imaginary character, it's a lot different from drawing a reference because, well, when you have a reference, you don't really need to focus on any of these things and just draw what the reference looks like. Of course, with the help of these tips, you could do that to a better degree and do that with slightly more convenience and ease. However, if you are drawing or creating a fictional character, it's very important that you capture their likeness and don't confuse their genders, I guess. And of course, I'm not sure if this should be mentioned, but we are just talking about external physical appearances when it comes to gender. And anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. But you know, since I am re-recording this and I do have a few minutes to talk, I guess we could talk about some stuff while we still have the time. So yes, this has been kind of a short video. Originally, I did want to split this video into 4 parts. The first part, of course, was when I go through basic human anatomy, which took a lot longer, was a lot more detailed than I expected, which was a good thing, of course. The second part was, of course, how to draw things, and that was, of course, a very, very big topic, and that could have gone for half an hour easily. The third video, which is this one, I decided to talk about gender, and I tried to make it sound the most respectful as I can, if that makes any sense. And I definitely expected this video to be a little bit longer, but it turns out, looking back at my footage, probably could have blended it with another video. Then again, that would also exceed the time limit for the other video, so I might as well just make a quick one and just leave it here. Now, as you may have read already, there is going to be a part 4, and I think the part 4 is actually going to be the last episode of this 4-part series, which I think has actually been a pretty fun series. I did enjoy making this. I will have to say, though, I've been uploading things non-freaking-stop, because, like, oh gosh, lots of videos than like the most I've ever uploaded, I think, within a short period of time. I'm not sure, but it seems like that, definitely feels like that. It's been, what, 6 videos including this one that I've uploaded within the past month or something? I'm not keeping track too greatly. But yes, there is going to be a part 4, and if I do ever have to come back to this and revise, or if you do have any questions, feel free to ask, and I might, if I have enough, make them in another video, or I'll let you know, I'll give you an answer. Yeah. Sounds good. Okay. As for the part 4, I'm not going to spoil that right now. You'll just have to see what that video is about. But if you have been keeping track with some of the things I've said, yeah, you probably will know what that video is going to be about. So, yeah. Adios. Bye. Thanks for watching.